All right, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you are making it through. Well, you know, I really like ballads. I really like slow songs. I like chords. I sit and play. Anytime I pick up the guitar, pretty much I want to see what the guitar sounds like really clean, and I want to see how it sounds, you know, when I play chords and things. And I like to kind of do these little things, you know, with chords, accompany myself and just play little chords, you know. And one of the things that I really like, you know, from my church, my religious gospel background is playing, you know, major seventh chords and minor seventh chords and just, you know, 11th chords and sus chords, you know, kind of the same thing, I guess. You know, stuff like, you know, I remember when I was probably about, you know, maybe 12 or 13, my older brother, Walter Fletcher, showed me, you know, this move right here. Down to a major seven for the one chord, you know. You know, just that kind of thing. And I still to this day play this move, you know, and it's in a lot of like gospel music. And this, that kind of stuff. And kind of play that for your 5 chord. Kind of a stretch, you know. A little Robin Ford move where you're, you know, instead of playing, play. You know, just little guitar moves and stuff I like to play, you know. I mean, that style too, I mean, so many guitar players, you know, current guitar players play in this style. I guess it would kind of be like in the kind of gospel organ thing, you know, playing those kind of things, you know. Well, when I grew up, when I was young, we didn't have so many organ players, you know, in my father's church, you know, until later, you know, so it was like all on me and all on my older brother before me and a little bit with me too, you know, playing a lot of guitar and playing these bigger chords, you know, so I had to totally redevelop my playing, you know, going to play R&B and blues and all those different things, because you don't need to play, you know, the whole like, you know, B flat major chord when you have a bass player and maybe an organ player and all these other different instruments. You don't need to play so. I mean, it was probably, I had been playing for maybe 10 years, but 8 or 9 years, 10 years, something like that, before I ever knew, like, you know, my open folk kind of chords, I call them. You know, like different chords like that, you know, it was like a long time, because I always played, you know, like the big chords, you know, in church, you know. So speaking of church and gospel music, you know, a record that I really love that was like sort of like starting off a lot of this contemporary gospel of the 80s, the early 80s, was this wonderful record and this wonderful group, family group called the Winans. This is a huge one. It's got Secret Place Tomorrow on there. Just Don't Want to Be Loved. Oh man, this is amazing. And this also has a wonderful guitar. I think the guitar was played by Hadley Hawkinson, Anybody knows Hadley Hawkinsmith on Trusting God, you know, so this is a fantastic record that I love very much. And also, this record, I'm just kind of all over the board, you know, and many of you may know this record, but this record is fantastic, you know, Joni Mitchell's Chord and Spark for melodic ideas and amazing songwriting and singing. The band is fantastic, and of course it has my hero Larry Carlton on a lot of it, as well as John Guerin and so many others. It's amazing. Chord and Spark, Joni Mitchell. I definitely can't say, you know, like, oh, I could pick one favorite Joni Mitchell record, but this is definitely in the top 5, you know, because this was probably my first exposure. This one and the Miles of Isles, those 2 records were my first because, you know, obviously I got into them because I found out who the band was on these records, you know. And then I got into the music after I heard it. And Joni Mitchell's been sort of like a lifelong, you know, inspiration in many different melodic and lyrical ways, you know. And also, something's coming. Hey, so yeah, tomorrow, this is going to be out and available. My good buddy, Mr. Michael Landau. Definitely pick up this record. You know, Mike Landau has been a lifelong favorite of mine, one of my heroes, and now a dear friend for many years. And I love this guy, and this record is absolutely amazing. So definitely check it out. Woo! And I was reading a post from a friend in the music, Miss Nikki Hill, and she recommended on I think it was an Instagram post maybe 2-3 months ago about this artist. I went out and found out I've been obsessed with Linda Martell, one of the first ever African-American females to play the Grand Ole Opry back in the late 60s or early 70s. And this record is amazing. She sings amazing on this record, and the band is amazing. It's Linda Martell, and it's on the Plantation Records. Crazy, right? But anyway, this record is amazing, and I mean, more people need to know about Linda Martell. Definitely check her out. This is country music, but like, imagine, you know, like some gospel influenced singer singing country music. I mean, you know, it's right up my alley because I already like country music anyway, you know, especially old country music, you know, Merle Haggard and Buck Owens and George Jones and Conway Twitty and all these guys. I love those guys. For one reason is the songwriting is really direct and soulful. So definitely check out Linda Martell. And that's about it for today. I just wanted to turn this into a melodic Thursday, and I hope everybody's doing okay and making it through these times. All right, take care. Your buddy, Kirk Fletcher.